Hey!
Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name is Nick. It's the weekly news and chat show from the world famous Bottom of the Stream podcast.
It is indeed. Welcome aboard.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Why?
Because it's just fun, isn't it, doing this?
I love doing this. It's my favourite night of the week.
Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to talk news.
News?
I like to news it. And there's quite a lot to go through. And then on Thursday, we'll be back talking about a movie.
Another movie. Good movie. Bad movie?
A movie.
Who knows? A movie.
Yeah, come back and we'll
let
tell you what we thought about on Thursday. A futile and stupid gesture. Is
Great
what it's
name
called.
for a movie. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
So as much as that. And then last week we watched a movie.
We did.
What movie did we watch last week?
Last week we watched The Bridge Curse.
Taiwanese horror.
Yeah.
Is that our first foray into Taiwan?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was.
I enjoyed it.
Me too.
Had
It was
fun.
all right.
Thought it was a good movie.
It was difficult to follow certain places, but
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the podcaster's curse, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, we'd have had a terrible episode if we hadn't made notes on the movie, but I think I'd have enjoyed the movie more.
I don't think. Yeah, you're probably right.
did it a disservice.
I couldn't do the show without making notes.
No,
I
me neither.
couldn't do it from memory.
No.
No way. My memory's shocking. Sometimes I read the notes and remember what happened in the film as I'm reading them. But yeah, no, it was a tough one to make notes and to follow, but decent horror film overall.
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah. How are you anyway? What have you been up to this week?
Do you know what? I'm okay. I mean, there was a bit of an incident yesterday.
Oh no, what happened?
Because we were having some work done by we were having some new windows at the house.
Okay.
So that was all going on. But no, I wasn't at home, I was at work. I got back and I was like, something smells a bit whiffy. I opened like the utility room door, cat flies out, been shut in there all day.
No way.
For God's sake, she's obviously gone and hid because of the loud, strange men banging around. I was like, that fucking stinks in it. So she took a crap on the floor. Fine, it is what it is. Cats, they're sick.
Yeah.
They do stuff like that. And then later on, I had to go out, take my daughter to one of her hobbies, and I picked up a shoe. And I was like, why is this shoe wet?
Oh no.
She's just like pissed over a really nice pair of Vans.
Oh,
I'm like,
gutted.
Probably got to throw them away.
Yeah, you can't. I don't think there's any coming back from that, is there? Even if you can clean them, you're always going to be able to smell it.
Yeah. And then later on, my daughter was like, oh, I'm really tired. I've had a really tough day. And I was like, yeah, but at least no one's weeding your shoes. So,
It's always a bonus.
yeah.
Oh, nightmare.
Yeah.
So you've got to get some new Vans now.
Yeah, they've gone in a bin.
Oh, which ones were they?
There were the pink and black ones.
Oh no,
with
you've had them
with
ages.
the checkered laces.
They're almost like your trademark.
Yeah.
You need to get some more.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh well,
Pouring out for the shoes.
we will.
How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I haven't really done a lot this week.
Anyone pissed in your shoes?
Nobody's pissed in my shoes or shat in my utility room. I found at least 5 wasps in my house this week. Is that something I should be concerned about?
Were they having fun?
They were just crawling around.
Okay. Well, like together in the same place?
No.
At the same time?
2 were tonight.
Right.
But no, usually they're separated. They're very dopey. They're not like aware. They haven't got a lot of awareness of their surroundings at the moment. I think it might be a bit early for them.
Have you had a window open?
No. I don't know if it's something I should be concerned about. I'm going to monitor the situation.
What the fuck's that? No.
Because do you remember a couple of years ago it was butterflies?
Yeah.
I used to find loads of butterflies in the house. I think I'd prefer that to wasps.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've chucked a plant away that was in the bathroom, so it may have been that.
What they were
might have
hiding?
I felt they were all around that. All the ones I've found.
Okay.
So that's gone in the bin. So we'll see.
Maybe
see if that solves the issue. And your wife will be very happy because she always moans about how much she hates that plant. So
I know the one.
No, it's gone.
Yeah, okay.
It's gone, so you can inform her of that.
Okay, fine. Yeah, she thinks it's a bit rapey.
It was like a. I don't have a rapey plant. I don't know what that even means.
Well, it is. It was a bit like tentacly.
It was a cactus that had overgrown its pot,
Yeah.
and there was loads of tentacles all over the
Yeah.
side. But rapey's a strange word. The last thing you want to be raped by is a cactus. Anyway, so we should use some Netflix news.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on.
Let's move on from the Rapey Cactus. At least we've got a name for the episode now.
Well, that is true. How funny. Okay, so let's start with some Netflix news, and let's start with some UK-based Netflix news.
Excellent.
And let's start with some numbers, because we love the numbers.
We do love the numbers.
And that Netflix has announced it's done some sums. It's done that cool function in Excel, obviously, and worked out that in the UK since 2020, Netflix has spent $6 billion making TV shows and movies in this country.
Wow.
That is $2 billion more than they originally planned.
Wow. Okay, that's incredible. That's a lot of money.
Time period. Yeah.
That is a lot of money.
Netflix also said they had spent on average almost $1.5 billion annually in that time period here. That's 500 million more than the last time they revealed their UK spend figure.
Wow. That's all going into the economy. It can't be a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a stonkingly huge amount of money.
It is a stonkingly huge amount.
Considering, some people would have you believe Netflix is on a downward trend. Or
they make, according to this article, 60 TV series and films annually in the UK.
Yeah, for comparison, Amazon, last announcement, so between 2018 and 2022, Amazon spent $1 billion making movies, TV in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that figure also includes live sport, apparently.
Yeah.
Which they do quite a bit of now, don't they?
Yeah. Netflix said, our productions are some of the buzziest, most watched and zeitgeist-defining in the world, said Anne Menser, Netflix's Vice President of Content in the UK. Between 2020 and 2023, we will have invested almost $6 billion creating Netflix series and films here, an increase of nearly 50% on what we originally anticipated. Netflix is now effectively the third biggest spender on content in Britain after Sky and the BBC.
That's surprising that the BBC spend more on content.
Yeah, but I suppose everything they make's in this country.
True.
And there's about 4 channels, 5. So. They've got about 5 channels, haven't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know if they count like radio and stuff like
maybe.
that. But, big bucks. Big
bucks.
Do you know what the next bit of news is, though?
What's that?
Would you like to know what some of that money is being spent on?
Of course I would. Do you still need this article open?
No, you can move on. Some forthcoming projects that have been announced this week, based in this very country.
Cool.
And that is led by the fact that Keira Knightley is announced that she will star in her first Netflix series, which will be called Black Doves.
Good title.
She will play a character called Helen, who is having a passionate affair, which starts to reveal her secret identity.
Okay.
It's a Christmas show.
It's a Christmas show? Nice.
It says, set over Christmas against the backdrop of rising diplomatic tensions. Sounds very... very intense.
Cool. That's good.
Coming. Also, a bit of few announcements this week.
Okay.
Netflix is adapting the Danish Nordic noir novel series Department Q into a UK set.
Okay.
Version set in Edinburgh, an 8-part series which will be directed by Scott Frank, best known for The Queen's Gambit.
Well, that did well.
It did. He said, I have been a fan of these novels for 12 years now, and I have a long-standing obsession with old-school British procedurals like Cracker and Prime Suspect. That made this one irresistible. There are 10 novels in all, and each one is a terrific mystery with a great potential for a season of television.
I don't know why, but 12 years sounds weird.
Yeah, it's strange phrasing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds fun. I like Danish noir.
With a Scottish twist.
With a Scottish twist.
They also announced this week a sequel to this year's Bank of Dave.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. My mum and dad watched that, I think.
Rory Kinnear will return. Currently, it's called Bank of Dave the sequel.
I don't think it's going to be called that.
We shall see his character take on payday lenders and risk his community bank and way of life.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's about a guy who made his own bank, isn't it? Bank.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on a true story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Excellent. Good news so far. Should we keep going?
Yeah, sure. Would you like to know what else some of that money's going on?
I certainly would.
Chicken Run 2.
Amazing.
So, we've talked about Chicken Run 2 before, but Netflix has now released your first look, i.e. a couple of screenshots from Chicken Run 2,
cool.
and confirmed that it will arrive on Netflix this autumn.
Excellent.
Director Sam Fell said Chicken Run was such a brilliantly crafted movie, radiating warmth and humour from the heart of a high-stakes drama. I've been really excited to bring these classic characters and their world back to life and get to dream up some new twists to their story. They're as fresh and funny as the day they were born, and the underlying themes of freedom and community are more relevant than ever. Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget is the official title for this one.
That's a wonderful title.
Tandy Newton and Zachary Levy are taking over the voice roles of Ginger and Rocky because it was Mel Gibson. Was it Helena Bonham Carter?
Yes.
I think
you're right.
I've not seen Chicken Run for many, many years.
Don't even know if I've ever seen it. I may have seen it when it came out, but I don't know if I've seen it.
A lot of the supporting cast are returning from the first movie, voice-wise. Jane Horrocks, Imelda Staunton, Lynn Ferguson. Joining the sequel are David Bradley, Ramesh Ranganathan, and Nick Mohammed.
Excellent. David Bradley is
What a
in
worker.
everything. What a man of that age is in absolutely everything. He does so well. Great. I look forward to that. We'll do a rewatch of Chicken Run before that comes out.
Or a watch.
Or a watch,
Who
depending
knows?
on if I have. I think I have seen it, but a long time ago.
But probably the biggest news of the week in terms of what some of this £6 billion is being spent on
This is big news.
is the long-rumoured but now confirmed return of Black Mirror.
So exciting.
There is a trailer.
There is.
Which has hit
It's a good
the
trailer.
net this week. And the Black Mirror Twitter account has been reactivated with the simple words, "What have we missed?"
Quite a lot.
We're the first series since 2019, which, again, you think isn't long ago, and then you do the maths,
And it's
quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Um,
It's when we started this podcast.
Indeed. Netflix say this is the most unpredictable, unclassifiable, and unexpected season yet.
Well, they are going to have to classify it because that's the law.
Would you Would you like to know some of the names who have been confirmed
Please.
for Black Mirror season 6? Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul's already been in a Black Mirror, which is
Yeah.
also quite exciting.
Yeah. Annie Murphy.
Yep.
Ben Barnes.
Great.
Himesh Patel. John Hannah. Josh Hartnett. Kate Mara. Michael Cera. Rob Delaney. Rory Culkin. Selma Hayek. And Zazie Beetz.
Some great names in there.
Interestingly, there has been not any confirmation yet about how many episodes this series will run. I think the last one was only like 3 episodes.
It was, yeah.
But
indeed.
Charlie Brooker has said these are bigger scale, longer episodes.
That's what I was wondering, if these are going to be like feature length. Maybe just get 3 feature length episodes or something.
I think you're essentially getting movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So yeah.
Excited. I'm really excited for that.
Good.
Especially the return of Aaron Paul, because the episode he's in is one of the best ones. So if they're sequeling that episode, then that's actually quite exciting as well.
Is he like a supporting character in
Yes.
his episode?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Variety have reported from sources, in inverted commas, that this season is more cinematic in scope, and that each installment is essentially being treated as an individual film.
Excellent. Next.
We've talked about Netflix flashing the cash in the UK.
We have.
And they've clearly got money to burn. And our old friend, Ted Sarandos, has been making new friends himself.
Excellent.
Because the president, no less, of South Korea has been on a diplomatic visit to the United States this week.
Okay.
And one of the people he had a meeting with was none other than Ted Sarandos himself.
Ted Sarandos himself. Amazing.
They met in Washington, where the president, Yoon Suk Yeol, is currently on a state visit. And Sarandos announced that Netflix will be investing $2.5 billion in Korea in the next couple of years on Korean content. So, well done, Squid Game.
Yeah, because I've got no issue with that. Some of the Korean content that comes out of Netflix is really good.
Yeah.
But well done, Squid Game. Because
you've sealed that deal.
They basically made a TV franchise studio in a country.
Yeah.
They've made South Korean TV a thing, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's exciting. 2.5 billion.
Nice work if you can get it.
Certainly is.
Do you like the music of Andrew Ridgeley and George Michael?
I'm not against it. I can't say I'm a huge fan.
Well, is it me or is it Wham in here? That's right. There's a documentary on its way to Netflix about Wham.
Cool.
The 80s supergroup, I guess. Can it be a supergroup with two people? Super duo.
It's pretty super.
Huge success. Obviously, they were both sides of the Atlantic. A documentary arrives on Netflix. It's called Wham! July the 5th.
It's my dad's birthday.
Well, happy birthday, your dad, because he can wake up and watch this. It says, with unprecedented access to both George and Andrew's personal archive, including remarkable and never-before-seen footage, alongside rare, candid, and previously unheard interviews, Wham! You have to say it like that, 'cause it's got an exclamation not marked by it. Charts their incredible journey from school friends to superstars.
It's nice. That's going to be nice to see a positive story about George Michael, because you don't see them very often, and that's going to be really nice.
This says here that Wham were the very first Western pop act to play a gig in China.
Wow.
There you go. Facts.
Good facts. I've been educated. Wham. Next.
We've been very positive about investment and new shows coming to Netflix.
We have.
So that couldn't last. I guess it depends how you read this story, because
this is a positive news story.
You may click on a headline that goes, Netflix has cancelled another popular show.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true. But it's also renewed it for another season.
Yeah.
And that is that Netflix has basically announced the end date for Big Mouth.
Yes. Which
is about to premiere its 7th season on Netflix. It has announced it's been renewed for an 8th season, but that will be its last.
That's plenty. For a show like Big Mouth's great. I really have a lot of fun with Big Mouth, but it's run its course. It doesn't need 2 more seasons.
You're only a teenager for 7 years.
Exactly.
It also announced that the 2nd season of the Big Mouth spin-off Human Resources will end with its upcoming 2nd season.
So basically, we're just cutting off that story completely.
But the two will sort of converge through the last season of Big Mouth.
Makes sense.
I mean, that just still means you're getting another 20 plus episodes of
Big
both
Mouth
when you combine both of those things. So
Big Mouth's a fun show. I mean, it has its critics, and probably for good reason. But
did you still watch it?
I do still watch it.
I think I watched the first couple of seasons, and then
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's just silly, and I quite like it.
Did you watch
I think it's right.
Human Resources?
I did. I didn't get that one. I didn't like that one. I did watch it all, but I didn't like that one as much.
Okay.
That basically it cuts the human characters out and just follows the different monsters and things like that. But yeah, it was all right. It was fine. Cool. Next.
Okay, let's step away from Netflix.
Did we talk about Heartstopper last week? Or was that news come out this week?
I don't know.
Heartstopper Season 2's been announced.
It's got a premiere date,
premiere date, August 3rd.
Yeah.
That's coming. I can't remember if we mentioned it last week or not.
I don't think we did.
I think it's, maybe not. But it's exciting. I'm really excited for it. I loved Season 1 of Heartstopper.
That'll be a perfect summer watch. Older Steven Spielberg Guess what?
What?
He's seen Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, Indiana
Excellent.
Jones and the Dial of Destiny, to give it its proper name.
Has he given any thoughts on it?
He likes it.
That's good.
I mean, do you think...
He's not going to say, well, that was shit.
Was he going to say, well, not as good as any of mine?
I suppose if he didn't like it, he wouldn't reveal that he'd seen it.
Well, true.
But it's like...
Can you imagine if he came out and went, it's even worse than the alien, glass-headed alien crystal one.
I've seen Indy 5. It's really bad. Harrison Ford's too old. That's never going to happen. So, yeah, he's always going to say he likes it.
Well, no pressure for James Mangold, the director of The Dial of Destiny, because he watched it with Spielberg.
Imagine that.
Spielberg said he loved what Mangold has done with the movie.
Imagine sitting next to him while you're watching it. Yeah, imagine you don't watch any of the movie, you just watch him the whole time.
You probably,
Mike Flanagan said he watched Dr. Sleep with Stephen King, just the two of them in a room. And he said you just sit watching him. Yeah, you just sit watching him the whole time. Yeah, that must have been quite nerve-wracking.
Spielberg said, I just experienced the movie a couple of nights ago. Bob Iger had a screening for a lot of the Disney executives, and I came along. Everybody loved the movie. It's really, really a good Indiana Jones film. I'm really proud of what Jim has done with it. When the lights came up, I just stood up, turned to the group and said, damn, I thought I was the only one who knew how to make one of these.
Did he make the last one?
Yeah.
When's it out? 30th of June.
Yeah.
It's not that long away. I'm looking forward to that, I must admit. I think that's going to be a good...
Please don't be bad.
Yeah,
it can't be bad, can it?
It can't be. Can it? The last one was. The last one was... Like,
but this is a make good, isn't it?
Yeah. The last one was uber bad, though. Do you remember the end of that last one? Oof.
Do you know what?
Stinky.
I have never been back to revisit it.
I haven't.
So I went to watch it at the cinema, and I remember it was one of the most disappointing cinematic
really
experiences I can remember. I've never been back to watch the Crystal Skull.
I haven't either. I don't know if I ever will either. I don't.
Yeah.
It just leaves a sour taste.
Am I gonna? If I watch it again, am I really gonna come out and go, "Oh, actually, Shia LaBeouf was all right"?
Maybe you should watch it again just before you see this one to
Maybe.
make this one feel better.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Because it can't be as bad as that. Interesting.
Well, not long to find out.
No, it's not. It's not long at all. That'll fly around. It's only 2 months. Next.
Next, some news on the next project from Neil Blomkamp.
Okay.
I say next project. He's still finishing up a movie we've talked about before, which is his Gran Turismo adaptation.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he's already signed up for his next movie, which will shoot later this year, and he has got Joel Kinnaman on board to do a sci-fi movie. It's going to be called They Found Us, and it's about alien abduction. It says the film will follow a father, played by Kinnaman, and his daughter, Kaylee, as they undertake a camping trip to the Utah wilderness to heal their broken relationship. However, they are attacked by a hostile extraterrestrial life form, and their lives, not just their relationship, wind up at stake as they fight with a humanoid beast to stop their abduction to an unknown and terrifying alien world.
That sounds quite interesting.
Yeah.
I like the idea of that.
I'm up for it if it's a bit of a harder,
a bit more
R-rated type flick.
Yeah, I don't want it to be. You don't want a silly family drama, do you? But
I don't know, because it sounds a bit like, just from that. What's the dinosaur one that's just come out with?
65.
Adam Driver.
Yeah,
sounds like that with Alien.
It does a little bit. Let's hope it's not that.
Blomkamp's pretty good though. He's got a good record.
Yeah, you can always rely on Blomkamp.
So that's we'll keep our eye on that one, because that sounds pretty cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
I quite like Joel Kinnaman as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that.
Right.
Next,
the final piece of news. I am tremendously excited about this news, and that is the fact that Bob Odenkirk has signed up to join season 2 of The Bear.
Wow. Bob Odenkirk's a busy guy now.
He really is. He's another top worker.
He really is.
Yeah, he's joining The Bear, which was one of my favourite series of last year.
I heard a lot of good stuff about it.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. It's just awesome. If you've not seen The Bear, it follows a top chef who has returned back to the sort of family sandwich shop from his sort of, highfalutin chefing life, and it's you wouldn't like it. It's filmed very Safdie Brothers style.
Yeah, I've never seen it because a lot of people have said to me you would hate it, so I didn't watch it.
And it's very intense, but
I might have to now.
God, it's really good.
If Bob Odinkirk's going to be in it, I might have to watch it.
Yeah,
because he's great.
He is great.
He is great. I just read his autobiography. I told you, didn't I?
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah. And I just watched Nobody as well.
Oh, really?
Last week,
okay.
Which I hadn't seen before.
Oh, it's great. What a great film that is. I've seen that twice. Excellent. Okay. Good old Bob. Good for him.
Yeah. He's going to be bearing down. There you go.
Any more for any more?
That's all the news.
Excellent. Have you watched anything good at the top of the
I have. So we'll talk about Nobody briefly.
Go for it.
Because, it's just arrived on Netflix over here.
It has, yeah, indeed.
Just stuck it on one night last weekend. Honestly, one of the best sort of just fun evening movies I've seen in age. It was so much fun.
Yeah, silly Saturday night pizza and a Magnum movie, isn't it? It's just leave your brain at the door. Just enjoy this film.
When Christopher Lloyd starts dropping people with shotguns, it's just great. I had a great time.
It's
really
so
enjoyed
much
it.
fun. It is a lot of fun. I'd recommend Nobody to everybody.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people that wouldn't get something out of Nobody, I don't think.
So I actually did a double header, and after that watched, which has just arrived on Amazon Prime over here, Clerks 3.
I haven't got to this yet, but I am going to, depending on what you say right now.
I found it surprisingly emotional.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were going to say that.
I thought I really enjoyed it, and it was a nice send-off for that.
Oh, that's good.
For some of those characters, I would say.
Excellent.
I've always liked those movies. I've probably grown out of them a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It feels
they came at the right time in our lives, didn't they? The Jane Silent Bob movies.
But
there was a time where that's all we were watching.
It feels like given everything that Kevin Smith has been through the last few years, health wise, it feels nice that he's been able to go back and close the loop on
100%.
Some of that stuff. It's probably the least good of the three Clerks movies, but
I remember not really enjoying Clerks 2 that much.
Okay,
but,
fair.
That might have just been the time when that came out. I don't know.
But it's full of nostalgia, obviously, because it's characters you've been familiar with since when was the first Clerks? Was like 1995,
something like that. Yeah, maybe even earlier.
And it really hooks you in with a sort of a soundtrack that takes you back as well. So
okay,
I had a good time.
I'll check
I'd
it out.
Recommend it.
I will watch that. Maybe I'll watch that at the weekend. So I'm struggling for movies at the minute.
Okay.
So maybe I'll give that a watch this weekend. Anything else?
I think that's about it.
Okay. I've watched a film I'd like to talk to you about and a TV show I'd like to talk to you about. Which one would you like to hear first?
Let's go with another movie.
Another movie.
Round the movies up.
On Saturday night? Maybe Saturday night. I watched Something in the Dirt.
Okay.
Any ideas?
I feel like I've heard of it.
It is Aaron Moorhead and Justin Benson's latest movie.
Brilliant.
They did The Endless, which he did on the show.
Yep.
Season 3?
Okay.
I think he came 4th in season 3. And they did Synchronic.
Yes.
That came out last year or the year before, which was great. Did you watch Synchronic?
Yeah.
I spoke to some.
Yeah. I've seen Synchronic, yeah.
Something in the Dirt was their lockdown movie. So they decided when they were in lockdown that they needed to make a movie because that's what they do.
What else are you going to do?
Exactly. So they wrote, directed, produced this movie, just the two of them. Well, there was another guy. They have a writing partner that they work with all the time. So 3 people made this entire movie. So there's only ever usually one person on the screen, and while that person's on the screen, the other one's holding the camera.
Okay.
And they filmed it all in Justin Benson's apartment. It's all done in one apartment. And it's fucking mental.
Okay.
It's mind-bendingly good. The reason I watched it is because the Script Apart podcast had them on.
Yeah.
And I really like those two guys, so I wanted to listen to it, but I hadn't seen the film, so I thought I'll watch the film, then I'll listen to that podcast. It's mental. It's much more insane than the Endless or Synchronic.
Oh, amazing.
It's basically they both play. They don't play themselves like they do in the Endless, but they play.
It's not the same characters.
No, it's not the same characters. That is their next movie.
Yeah,
they're doing or TV show or movie where they are those characters. One of them lives in an apartment. One of them moves into the apartment upstairs. They become friends.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day, one of them witnesses what they describe as a supernatural event.
Oh, I always love a supernatural event.
Basically, he's just about to leave the apartment, but they're both there. He's just about to leave the apartment, and an ashtray starts floating in the sky.
Okay.
And loads of lights light up the room, and then it just stops. And then they're like, we've just witnessed this supernatural event. We need to prove to people that we've just witnessed this supernatural event.
Sure. If you've got a floating ashtray, you want to prove it.
You want to prove it to the world.
Yeah.
And the rest of the movie is about them trying to prove that this happened.
Okay.
But the whole time, you don't know if it happened.
Yeah. So you don't see the initial event.
You do see the initial event, but you don't know if it's all in their heads. You don't know if it's in one of their heads and not the other one.
Yeah.
You don't know if you've seen it or they're just making shit up. It plays with your mind something crazy. And then the ending is so beautiful that it just... I can't recommend this film enough. I really, really enjoyed it. And when I first finished it, I didn't think I'd enjoyed it that much.
Okay.
But since I've had time to think about it, it's grown on me a lot more.
Amazing.
And then I listened to the podcast where they talk about the writing of it and the production of it. And that's elevated a little bit more. And I think it's really good. And I've got a lot of time for those guys. Pretty much, I think I'll just watch everything they ever make from now on.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They are awesome. And they just seem to know how to make low budget films, but really, really well. Yeah. And like I say, this is film with two men.
But they're going to be megastars. I mean,
one day they will be megastars.
They've already done some stuff with Marvel.
The script apart guy asks them this, and he's like, before COVID, you were on this hiding to superstardom. That's now coming back a little bit. Is that where you're heading? And they're like, might be where we're heading, but we're always going to make low budget independent movies. Yeah. So, yes, they're going to be superstars. But they're also still going to keep doing what they're doing.
But they'll easily end up,
they'll get a Marvel movie at some point.
Directing an Avengers movie or something.
But they're doing Loki now, aren't they? They're in the UK. That's why you interviewed them, because they're in the UK filming Loki at the moment. But yeah, I'd highly recommend it. It's really good fun. I had to pay for it. It was 99p on Amazon.
Okay.
It's not on any streaming service other than Amazon. But it was worth it.
They like this podcast as well. Well, I'm claiming that they like this podcast.
They at some point have liked a tweet and retweeted a tweet from this podcast. So that is very true.
So we are biased.
I'm fans of them. They're fans of me. That's the way I'm looking at it. And you. And then I've watched a TV show this week.
Okay.
It's called Colin from Accounts.
Okay.
Have you heard Colin from Accounts?
So.
It isn't what it sounds like.
I might know one, but I don't think I've seen this show.
It's an Australian sitcom.
Right.
About a man who accidentally runs over a dog. But it is the fault of the lady who was crossing the road in front of him because she flashed her boob at him, and that distracted him when he ran over the dog. They then take the pair of them take the dog to the vets, and then they end up in a relationship with a dog.
Okay.
They end up as a couple with a dog. And it's hilarious.
Cool.
It's very, very funny.
Where can I watch Colin from Accounts?
You can watch it on the BBC iPlayer. It's on
lovely.
BBC Two weekly at the moment, but it's all there on the BBC iPlayer now. I presume other places in Australia, definitely in Australia, and other places around the world you can watch it. My brother recommended it to me. I don't know how he found it. I've no idea. Okay. But it's very funny. The two people that are in it they write it as well, and they're also in a relationship in real life, so the chemistry's just there.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Well, that's good, because sometimes, I mean, look, going back to Kevin Smith, look at Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
Real life chemistry does not always show on screen.
It really doesn't. A hint for the show is there is not a character in the show called Colin from Accounts.
Oh, man. Okay, you've intrigued me even more.
But I think I've watched all of that this week. There's 8 episodes on the iPlayer, I think, and that film. So I don't think I've watched anything else. I'm pretty sure I haven't done anything on Netflix this week.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. Both high recommends from me on that.
That is some good stuff.
Thank you. What's next? How far in are we? 34 minutes. Shall we do a top 10? Or shall we do the real talk?
Let's have a look at the top 10.
Let's have a look at the top 10. Let's do top 10 films in the United Kingdom
Yeah.
for the week of the 17th of April to the 23rd of April 2023. Currently at number 10 is Phenomena.
Well said.
Is that how that's... It doesn't look right, does it?
That's how I read it. I did have to look twice though, because I didn't know if it was that old Steve Coogan movie with
Philomena.
Judi Dench. Because there's only about 2 letters difference.
But yeah, you're right.
It
And
looks like a ghost type story.
it does. I don't know what it is.
No.
That lady's familiar to me in the
Okay.
poster, but I don't know who she is.
I'm saying ghost story because there's like everyone's a bit wavy in the thumbnail, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all old.
Okay.
Jesus in the background. Is that what's going on? Then at number 9 is Shahzada.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a Bollywood movie, I
It's
believe.
a Bollywood movie. Made it into number 9 in the
Yeah.
charts in the UK. That's quite impressive. Don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about it?
I mean, nothing's going to compare to RRR, is it?
No. Ever. In the world. Number 8 is a movie called Wasteland.
I'm not familiar with Wasteland.
I'm not
These are
also
all
familiar.
new to the charts.
They
this
are.
week.
They're all 3 of them are number 1, first week in the charts. Can't recognise that guy. Don't know who that is. Number 8 is A Tourist's Guide to Love. This is also a new release this week.
Okay.
It looks like a rom-com.
I mean, yeah, it's the stuff that the Netflix rom-com template.
Yeah, looks like it. It's a
push
Netflix
these
original.
out all the time. Yeah.
Number 6 is Lewis Capaldi, How I'm Feeling Now.
I really want to watch this.
Yeah, I do as well.
I might
actually.
try and watch it over this weekend when we've
Okay,
got a bit
cool.
more time, because I reckon I'm really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I've got a lot of time for Lewis Capaldi.
Me too. He's very funny. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, so I do want to watch that.
Cool. Okay, let us
And
know.
I
how
have
it
heard
is.
quite good things about
I have
it,
as well.
so.
Number 5 is Murder Mystery 2.
Yeah, shit, don't watch it.
Okay. Number 4 is Home. That seems to always just be in and around the charts. On
Yeah.
Netflix. 4 weeks in
Yeah,
the top
but
10 now.
who's actually watching Home versus how many parents are putting it on in the background
Yeah, that's
to distract
exactly
their
what's
kids
happening.
while they run around and no one's actually watching
Have you ever
Home.
watched it?
I have seen it.
Is it good?
I remember it being okay. It's Jim Parsons voices the alien.
Oh, okay.
So.
Not bad.
I think it was kind of a big deal at the time.
Yeah,
It came
I
out.
remember it coming out. Number 3 is The Last Kingdom, Seven Kings Must Die. That is the final feature-length episode of The Last Kingdom.
And it was one of the reasons why we've got this week's Real Talk.
Yes, it was.
But we will come on to that
Indeed.
shortly.
And number 2 is Two Hearts. Again, looks like another little rom-com. Don't know much about it. It's first week in the charts again.
Oh.
It's doing well. First week and gets
All
to
of
that
these
first stage.
rom-com-y type thumbnails, there's always a beach involved, isn't there?
There is always a beach, and there's always like faded out picture of 2 people hugging. Number 1 in the charts this week is Nobody.
Yeah.
Somebody, but no, the film's called Nobody, which is the film we just talked about with Bob Odenkirk. Shall I go through TV shows?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. TV shows in the UK. Number 10, Young Sheldon, Season 1.
I've never watched that.
I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of it, but I've fallen away from it now.
Is it any good?
The first couple were alright.
Okay.
Wasn't bad.
I just kind of like, I never finished The Big Bang Theory either. I just kind of like, it's,
It has
faded out of
It suffers
for
now
me.
from
And it's
that
like,
that same thing that all sitcoms about kids suffer from, is that they grow up.
Yeah.
Well, one of his brothers got a kid now in it.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think it's probably run its course. But yeah, season 1's obviously just appeared on Netflix in the UK for some reason. Number 9 is The Sister.
Okay.
Any ideas?
I think no, I have no idea.
Season 1, first week out. It's only just been released.
Yeah, it's got Russell Tovey in it.
It has got Russell Tovey in it because that's him on the picture. Don't know anything about it. We should probably do more research on these things before we start. So, all we've done is gone, I don't know much about this. Watch it if you want. Number 8 is American Manhunt, the Boston Marathon bombing.
I am going to get to this.
Me too.
I've seen the trailer several times.
I do love a Netflix true crime drama. Number 7 is Florida Man. We briefly mentioned this last week. That is the American sitcom about a man in Florida. Number 6 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Season 8.
Yeah, it's the final
The final
season
season
of
of
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
Nine-Nine.
It's finally arrived on Netflix.
It has indeed. Obsession is at number 5. This is a weird sex show that everybody's talking about.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of talk about this show in one of our group chats.
There
this
was,
week.
yeah.
Not in our Discord, in actual
Friend chat.
yeah.
Not that our Discord are not friends,
No.
but people we know and love are also in the Discord. I don't know how to describe it. The friends that we've got that are not in the Discord.
And there was a lot of wanky pillow talk.
I haven't seen Obsession. I have seen last week's episode of Gogglebox.
Okay.
And I wanted to clean my eyes with bleach after I'd watched it.
Okay.
A man has I always watch Gogglebox with my mum as well, and it's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
He has a quite aggressive wank whilst sniffing a pillow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
He does that
Drama.
Talking of wank, Love is Blind season 4 is at number 4. That's quite a nice rhythm that it's at number 4 and it's season 4. Number 3 is Beef. Beef's been taken into the number 3 spot this week. I don't like how quickly Beef is not hanging around. I'm worried for the future of Beef, and I really want it to get renewed.
But,
really, really.
No, but if it didn't,
it wouldn't matter.
It's fine as a self-contained.
It is fine. It is.
I would be, I would be
so much.
fine with the ending being an ending.
Agreed. Me too. I just want more of it. Yeah. The thing that's knocked it off from number 2 to number 3 is a TV show called The Diplomat season 1. Any ideas?
I mean, it's just a poor man's night agent, surely.
Looks like it. Holding its own at number 1 is The Night Agent. 5 seasons now in the charts.
5 weeks.
5 weeks now in the charts. 5 weeks at number 1.
Yeah.
It has snuck into the top 10 globally.
I mean, I suppose what The Night Agent's going for is that is it 10 episodes and they're all like an hour or more. So it is quite a chunky series to get through, isn't it?
That being said, The Night Agent is sticking around at the top because it's really fucking good.
Oh, but no, it is. Yeah, it is good.
That's the reason why it's sticking around. It really felt like
Prime. Have you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it the weekend.
Okay.
It really felt like Prime 24 when it was in its prime.
Yeah.
It really felt like that. The last couple of episodes are really good.
Yeah.
The whole sequence at Camp David is brilliant.
Oh, the climax, the shootout, and the drama around there. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good, and they've
really
left it wide open to bring. It is coming back. We know it's coming back. It's already been renewed. They've left it wide open for that, and they could do absolutely anything with that show now.
Well, I won't spoil the end. But
no,
yeah,
I won't. But
that whatever that character's going to do next could
be anything. Literally anything. Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. It's a great show. I highly recommend The Night Agent. It has snuck into the top 10 of all time, and I think it went up a week. It's the 5th best-selling show in the English language.
So
of
I think
all time.
last week it was 6.
It was,
and it has. I mean,
just
it's a million. It's done it by 1.5 million, but in the grand scheme of things, that's an absolute nail biter. It has just edged past Bridgerton season 1.
It snuck in between season 1 and season 2 of Bridgerton.
Yeah, so it's landed in its final viewing hours for its first 28 days, 626.9 million.
Yeah.
5th place of all time.
In the English language.
In the English language for its first 28 days.
That's impressive. When you look at what's above it, Bridgerton season 2, Dharma, Wednesday, and Stranger Things season 4.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Nothing on Netflix has ever been better than that.
Watched
more than The Night Agent season 5. It's incredible. It's incredible. But it's a great show, and it thoroughly deserves it. It just annoys me that it might have taken the show off Beef a little bit. But who knew 2 great shows would come out at the same time?
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
Right, should we do a real talk?
Let's talk reels.
Let's talk reels. What was this week's real talk question, Nick? You came up with it yourself.
Oh, yeah. So we were inspired by not only the Last Kingdom TV series being completed with a movie, but also the fact that I think we are technically watching... We're watching a movie on Friday that is a kind of a continuation of certain TV shows in that National Lampoon.
Yeah, on Friday.
On Thursday.
Something I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I get where you were coming from.
And the real talk was simply if you wanted to adapt a TV show into a big budget movie, what are you doing? Yeah. And you take that however you want.
You can interpret it however you wish.
And I think
people have interpreted it in different ways.
You could complete a TV show on a bigger scale. You could reimagine it. Completely reboot it. Yeah. New cast, new characters, everything. What are you doing? Or you could... Well, there's loads of things you could have done with it. What did people do with it? Okay, so... which TV show do you want to see get a big budget movie adaptation? Wayne in the Discord has gone with easy for me, Justified. Okay. It's my favourite TV show, but it could easily be scaled as a movie. Timothy Olyphant is credible as a film star as he is a TV star, so that is an easy sell. Add as many of the TV cast as you can. Use a budget for some well-known character actors, and as long as you have a good script, you are on to a winner.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing about doing this sort of thing, isn't it? Because you've already got your audience there. As long as you can produce a good script, you quid's in.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it doesn't happen more often.
It has to be accessible for new viewers as well.
Exactly.
Oh, talking of one that I haven't seen, obviously Netflix have done this recently with Luther.
Yes, that's true.
With turning that into a movie.
Yeah.
Which, have you watched that?
Nope.
No. It didn't make big inroads, did it, really?
No, apparently it wasn't very good, though.
Yeah. But then, I don't think the last couple of seasons were anywhere near as good as
and it's been a long
couple.
time since it finished.
Yeah.
So, did it really need to happen at all?
Anyway. Ross Cook in the Discord. His choice is an adaptation of Pushing Daisies.
Okay.
And
great show.
It would be directed by Wes Anderson because his style would be a total match. I'd make the movie a murder mystery comedy centered around Charlotte. Yeah, you seem to like that suggestion.
I do. I enjoyed Pushing Daisies. It was a shame when it got... It was a victim of a writer's strike, I think.
I think it was.
It was a shame because it's a really good show.
Samuel Holland in the Discord picks Mindhunter. He says, although it's technically not been cancelled by Netflix, they've basically said it's not coming back because of scheduling conflicts of the actors and directors. Yeah. I think a movie would be easier to schedule rather than 10 episodes, therefore one final film while they investigate another serial killer and tie up the loose ends from the series.
It's not a bad shout.
Yeah.
They have said that Mindhunter's on ice, so
yeah.
It isn't coming back.
Smileyson in the Discord has two answers.
That's not allowed.
Well, it's not the first time
it's
someone's
not.
done that. He says, as a continuation, Rick and Morty.
Okay.
I'd love to see what they can do with a 90-minute movie.
Don't think that's going to happen.
As an adaptation, Designated Survivor.
I think that's a good shout.
I like the premise, but thought the show lost its way. I think it would work well as a movie.
If you could reboot Designated Survivor, the concept of Designated Survivor is great.
Yeah.
So if you could reboot it as a movie, it would work really well.
Because it is very sort of... Jack Ryan-y. You know, when Harrison Ford did... I know that's been now a series, but when Harrison Ford was doing like Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger and that sort of... You could see it as a movie in that ilk.
Yes, you could. Absolutely could.
Okay. Alex in the Discord is going with Kingdom. Which was the MMA.
It was a wonderful
series.
Show.
I think a continuation of where those characters are now could work, but also an adaptation of that world would look really cool.
Yeah, he's right. It's a wonderful answer and it's a great show. If you've not watched Kingdom, check it out. It's great. It was on Netflix for a while. I don't know if it's still.
It was
Netflix.
For a long time, but
yeah,
I think it's
on Amazon now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wonderful. Great show. Everybody in that show is great as well. Such a good cast.
It's on. Oh no, maybe it is back on Netflix.
Oh, is it on Netflix? Okay, fair enough.
Not. I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. What about you?
I've gone in the same kind of vein.
I'm presuming there's nothing on social media.
No, there isn't.
Okay.
For some reason, we just don't get responses on there now. I've gone in a similar vein to what Ross did. So Ross basically picked a show that was wasted potential.
Okay.
And tried obviously taking a show like that and made it better. Do you remember a show called Flash Forward?
I do, yes.
Came out just before the end of Lost, so it kind of got lost in that.
Oh, it was very much... it was very much on that sort of let's go with a high concept.
Yeah.
And try and...
Yeah, it was being billed everywhere as this is the new Lost. This is going to be the new Lost. Somebody said to me, are you just going to do Lost? I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to do the show that was going to be the next Lost. But yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit ropey. I remember, I can't remember which way around it was. It was either, because the season got split in half abruptly, the network stopped it.
Yeah.
They stopped airing it. So I assume, I can't remember which round it was. So either the first half was really bad and the second half was better, or the first half was good and the second half was shit. I can't remember which way around it was, but I assume the first half was terrible. The network stopped it, rewrote it, refilmed it, and then carried it on.
Everyone lost like a portion of their lives.
Yeah, so I've got the synopsis here.
Yeah, because I really vaguely remember it.
So it says, after the entire world's population blacks out for approximately 2 minutes and 17 seconds, which in effect causes the entire world to see a glimpse of life 6 months into the future. An elite FBI task force is formed to investigate who or what caused the global blackout, whether the events foreseen were simply flashes of true events or what's to come, or whether it could possibly happen again. So it's a great concept, and it was really badly done.
Yeah. And
it could have been so good. And I think as a film, it's a great idea. Because you can have the flash happen right at the beginning, and then just follow 5 or 6 different people to see if what they see happened. I remember when Flash Forward came out, I was really excited for it, and then incredibly disappointed with where it ended up. There's loads of good actors in it. It was a really good show. Well, could have been a really good show. It's a really good concept for a show, but unfortunately, it wasn't. And I feel like that potentially has a good story to tell there somewhere.
I think in the right hands, it could be. I think you've got a real. I think it is a good concept. You've got a real fine line to tread there because, it could easily be also a Nicolas Cage DVD movie.
It could be the sort of movie we're doing on this show. It could be the sort of movie that we end up doing on this show. But also, it could be a really good film. So if done well, it could be really good.
Okay.
But just unfortunately wasn't done well as a TV show.
I like it.
Thank you.
Definitely a concept that could be explored. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to hear mine?
Yes, please.
So
I'm excited for yours.
I am taking a slightly different tack.
Okay.
So I am making a movie based on a world-renowned TV show.
Okay.
But I am more going along the lines of what they did with something like 21 Jump Street, where we're doing it a bit different to the concept of that TV show.
Got you.
I've actually got 2 options.
Okay.
So I want to do Murder, She Wrote.
Nice, the Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah, but I think I want to do it John Wick style.
Like, Kick-Ass Granny?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm up for that.
We've seen, John Wick. We've seen Nobody, which we've talked about. Netflix have done a couple of recently, like kick-ass lady movies.
Yeah.
Well, let's do it. I want a kick-ass granny movie, and it's Murder, She Wrote.
Who's playing Jessica Fletcher?
But it's John Wick style, and we're calling it Murder, She Dealt.
100%. Here's the budget. Do it. Who are you casting?
Who would I cast? Oh, I didn't really thought of that. I mean, God rest her soul. Angela Lansbury's not up for the job. So, is Judi Dench too old?
Yeah. You've got Judi Dench, Helen Mirren, Joanna Lumley.
Oh, actually,
Michelle Yeoh?
No, well, I was thinking of...
She's not old enough.
I'm basically picturing... Well, Imelda Staunton would be all right.
Good shout. Yeah, I can see that.
In a sort of little old lady skirt, the blue rinse, and just absolutely kicking ass.
There's not many little old lady actresses about, is there? Michelle Yeoh was right. There's not much opportunity.
My other spin on Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, it's the same show but a different spin.
Yeah, so this could be a different adaptation of the same show. But I feel like this concept must have been done before somewhere.
Okay.
Is a horror spin on it where she literally writes the books and those murders come into real life.
Oh, that sounds very Stephen King.
Yeah, it does. That must have been done before.
Yeah, that must have been done.
So I'm going with Murder, She Dealt. Yeah,
I like Murder, She Dealt. That's great.
Okay.
If you can think of somebody who would be good in the cast of Murder, She Dealt, let us know.
Yeah, fine.
Hit us up with some suggestions. That's great. Wonderful.
Okay.
Well done. Good answers. Good real talk again. We're good at real talks now.
It's fun. It's fun time.
It's fun times. Cool. I think we've done a wave.
I would say so.
We got anything else we need to talk about?
No, other than come back on Thursday to this very feed, and we will be talking about
a futile and
stupid gesture.
That's not something we've done. That's the name of the film.
A Netflix original.
Yep.
Comedy/biopic. I think.
Biopic. I would agree with that. Telling the story of the origins of National Lampoon.
Yeah.
In the 70s.
Yeah.
Come back on Thursday to hear about it.
Please do. We'll be right here.
We will.
Cheers.
Bye.